What's going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. So there's a thought going around from not just Falcons fans, but from NFL fans in general, that the Atlanta Falcons need to draft a linebacker in 2020. In this video, of course, I give out my thoughts on if the Falcons should draft a linebacker in 2020 starting right now. So let's take a look at the linebackers we got right now. Deion Jones, Foye Oluokun, Leroy Reynolds, Edmund Robinson from the XFL, and Josh Harris. Deion Jones doesn't need an introduction. We all know he's good. Foye Oluokun, I think, is a good player, and I also think he's got potential to be with us for at least 1 or 2 more years. Now, sure, he basically did not get much playing time last year, which was only his second year in the NFL. That is a little bit of a concern because you need to get your newer players as much experience as possible. But I do still think he's got potential. Leroy Reynolds, I love Edmund Robinson, but first off, let's be real, he's probably not going to get much playing time. And second off, I guess we can't expect a player from the XFL to just break out when joining the NFL. And Josh Harris is just not going to take the starting spot. So I do like our linebacker group, but we could use a little bit of a boost as well. So the quick answer to if the Falcons should draft a linebacker in 2020 is yes, but no way in any universe would I want to draft one early. People think, oh, let's aim for a linebacker in the first round, or second round, or third round. Like, no, it's a big need, but it's not that big of a need. Our biggest needs are in pass rush, corner, and O-line. Linebacker can be solved later on, in my opinion. Plus, I really don't think many teams are aiming for a linebacker anyway, or at least early in the draft. So whoever you're looking at drafting has a decent chance at being available for the Falcons. Do we need to trade up for Isaiah Simmons? No, not at all. When should we draft a linebacker? I'd say somewhere from rounds 4 through 5. Who exactly should we draft then? I wish I could tell you, but I've only been studying pass rushers and corners. I never really had the thought of which linebacker we should get, but once I do make my Falcons mock draft, which I would expect that to come sometime mid-April, I'll probably have my answer then. But those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will admit I kind of made that topic short on purpose because there's a lot of mailbag questions to answer, and these mailbag questions you sent me are really, really interesting, and I thank each and every one of you for sending me that. If I missed any, I do apologize, but let's get it started with Jack Ballard. Do we need another running back? I personally don't like Ito as running back number 2, and I would like to go with a running back in the draft. If you do agree with me, what running backs do you think the Falcons will grab? I agree that we do need another running back too. Are the Falcons gonna replace Ito Smith? I mean, probably not, but listen, I like Ito. Ito is a good player. He's fine. But he's first off very injury prone, and second, I think running backs are just very replaceable. Ito Smith is probably only going to be with us for 1 more year, so yeah, I would already go ahead and look at running back number 2. Who would I get? Look, man, DeAndre Swift is great. Look, J.K. Dobbins is great. Jonathan Taylor is great. But come on, be real. They are not going to go to the Falcons. So, doesn't really matter which running back you get, in my opinion, because you can really turn any running back into a really good one, because running back is just so replaceable. So doesn't really matter who you grab, but yeah, I would grab another running back. Ninja Kale asks, can we beat the Buccaneers this year? Absolutely, we pretty much do it every year. Now, yes, Tom Brady has never lost to the Falcons before. Yes, the Buccaneers always keep things close, and they're no easy out. Like, the Falcons and Bucs is, I'm gonna say it, sometimes it's more of a intense game than the Falcons and Saints, but yeah, you know, they're no easy out, but yeah, we can beat the Bucs. Falcons fan asks, what will it take to beat the Saints 2 times this year? Just stay focused, stay disciplined, use the talent. Like the Falcons don't use the talent. Use the talent. And just be at your best, you know? Like, the Saints are a great team, but so are we. Just do your best and just step up your game, and we should be good. Jack Baller asks, just a recommendation, you should post a video of what stats you think each player will get from the offense. If you wanted to, you could make another video of doing the defense. Oh my gosh, I am an offensive guy. I love offense. I would absolutely kill to make that video. I would be interested to write down Matt Ryan's stats, Todd Gurley's stats, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones. I would absolutely kill to do that. And then on defense, I like defense, but I'm definitely more of an offensive guy. But that doesn't mean you just shouldn't go over the defense. So no promises, but that video might come. You know, I would definitely be down to do it, but no promises. Mike Jens asks, how much sacks do you think Dante Fowler Jr. will have? At the most, I would say 10 or 9, 9 or 10 sacks, and then at the very least 5 or 6 sacks. That boy Elijah Swag asks, do you think the Falcons have a dream team offense with Julio Jones and Todd, Hayden Hurst and others? Yeah, Matt Ryan, the league MVP in 2016, and he's still on his game. Julio Jones, the best receiver in the league. Todd Gurley, who frankly should have won MVP in 2017, but they're not going to give it to a running back. And then Hayden Hurst is a pretty good tight end. We also got Calvin Ridley, who I still don't think he's going to reach 1,000 yards, but he definitely can reach 800 or 900. The fact of the matter is, I think Calvin Ridley I think he's the best number 2 receiver in the league, actually. Maybe a little bit biased, but I think he's the best number 2 receiver in the league. I really think he's a good receiver, so yeah, I think we have a great dream team offense. Wild11 asks, I've heard rumors about the Falcons possibly trading up with the Jets and then trading up again with the Chargers. I didn't know that one. Who do you think we could possibly be wanting at that spot? Seems like he'll get Jeffrey Okudah, who would already be gone. I heard about the Falcons trading up with the Jets, but I didn't know they were trying to get with the Chargers. I would go with Jeffrey Okudah. We need another corner. David Maddox asks, if we do decide to get secondary in the draft, who should we look for? Jeffrey Okudah, CJ Henderson, or Trevon Diggs from Alabama? Now, maybe it's just wishful thinking on my part because the Falcons kind of draft a lot of Alabama players and they do really good, like Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. But that's kind of where I'm trying to get at. Like, if we get an Alabama player, they could be really good. Plus, I just think Trevon Diggs is a good player. Now, Alabama players usually can kind of be great or bad. Like, some players coming out of college that are from Alabama, they can either be really good or they can be really bad. So, it's all like, it's like a 50-50 on if Trevon Diggs will be good, but I would just go ahead and get him because we do really good with Alabama players, apparently. Primo asks, what do you expect from the Falcons in 2020? Also, do you think Gurley will return to his 2017 form and have an impact? Because 2016, I'm telling you, 2016, Todd Gurley had a terrible sophomore slump. What do I expect from the Falcons in 2020? I'll admit that I am a lot higher on them than I was. I feel like I'm kind of always being a downer on the channel. I'll admit it, I am being a lot higher on them. Now, I don't know if they're going to go higher than 10-6. I'll say that. At best, I feel like the Falcons could go 10-6. At worst, they go 7-9 or 8-8. So that's kind of where I stand on that. And then, what do I think Gurley will do? Will he return to MVP form? I mean, probably not. Like, he, first off, has an arthritis injury still bothering him. And then also there's such thing as Dirk Cutter. So, I mean, he probably won't go back to MVP form, but I do still think he'll make a big impact to the Falcons. And he will still have a solid year. Ninja Kel asks, can the Falcons do better with their new jerseys? Love the videos. Thank you, man. Yeah, I think so. Like, the Falcons all over Twitter are fired up about the jerseys. So, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Matt Ryan had like an interview saying how great that felt. Deion Jones's reaction when he saw the new helmets and the new uniforms. I think the players love it. So, yeah, I think we can do better. Omar Jackson asked, will Todd Gurley get 1,000 or 2,000 rushing yards and 42 catches for 700 receiving yards? 2,000 rushing yards is a little bit of a stretch, but 1,000 rushing yards, yeah, I think he's capable of doing that. 42 catches for 700 receiving yards. I don't know about that one. I think Matt Ryan's going to want to throw it to Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley and Hayden Hurst a little bit more than Todd Gurley, but that doesn't mean Todd Gurley isn't going to catch it that much. So yeah, he can definitely get 42 catches. I don't know about 700 yards. I think maybe 600, maybe even 500 yards. But yeah, for rushing yards, maybe 1,000. Atlanta Falcons ask, bro, I can't believe how quickly your channel is growing. It's super exciting to see you. You are the go-to channel for anything Falcons related on YouTube now, bro. I'm super happy for you. As always, rise up from Australia. Rise up, man. That made my whole freaking day. I thank you for supporting me, and I hope I only get better from here. My question is, hypothetically, say we make Super Bowl 55 in Tampa Bay next year, who would we defeat in the playoffs and face in the Super Bowl? I am looking at maybe the Kansas City Chiefs, or what's another AFC team that's kind of looking scary? Honestly, the Indianapolis Colts are kind of a slept-on team. I feel like nobody's really talking about the Colts. They could be good, simply because they got a new quarterback. Now, yeah, Phillip Rivers, didn't really have a good 2019, but I mean, he's Phillip Rivers. He's a veteran. He can bounce back. What other AFC team? Baltimore Ravens. I don't know how I forgot them. People say Pittsburgh Steelers are a sleeper Super Bowl team. I kind of disagree with that. But, yeah, I guess the Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. In my opinion, I think the Indianapolis Colts are kind of a slept-on team. Maybe Tennessee Titans, but I got to say a little more from Ryan Tannehill instead of just what he did for, a second half of the year, basically. And would we defeat them? I mean, yeah. Who would we defeat in the playoffs? Who would we defeat in the playoffs? NFC is definitely really stacked, so it's all flat out guesses. I'm just kind of guessing. I don't really know, but we could defeat. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely need a little more time on that. Plus, the playoffs are a little bit different now since there's 7 playoff teams, and now I guess there's only one team with a first-round bye. So I would definitely need a little more time on that. But, yeah, I think that's who we would beat in the Super Bowl. Archangel asks, will Dan Quinn and Dimitroff try to save their jobs and trade up in the draft for a few spots? If they feel they need to, and maybe trade away 2 or maybe 3 future draft picks, since we only have 6 draft picks this year. Actually, I don't know if you saw the tweet or wherever I saw this, but the Falcons are one of 3 teams in the league that are really, really interested in trading up. Thomas Dimitroff loves trading up, so the Falcons are, I don't know, I really think they're going to do it. I don't know who they're going to trade with. I guess the Jets to get a pass rusher or a corner or something. But the Falcons are really interested in trading up. If they feel they need to, maybe they trade away 2 or maybe 3 future draft picks. 2020 is the year you gotta get things figured out. Now, if you do well in 2020, yeah, the future draft picks that go away would cost you in the future years. But if you do bad this year, I mean, you just rebuild in 2021. So it's it's do or die in 2020. I guess you just gotta do what you gotta do. And hopefully they make the right move. Quentin Hesse asks, if the Falcons do take a corner and a defensive lineman in rounds 1 and 2, what position do you think we should and go after our 3rd round pick? Also, congrats on 2K. Keep up the great work. Thank you, man.
if they take a corner and defensive lineman in rounds 1 and 2, what positions would they go after? I think they need to go offensive line. I think offensive line is our third biggest need. Now, I don't think the offensive line needs to be improved like that much. I think we're like a left guard away from being really, really good on the offensive line. Not great, not elite. We still have players to develop like Chris Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry. We're not going to be elite or great, but I think we're a left guard away from being a good offensive line. So yeah, I think we need to go for offensive line. And who exactly should we go after? That's a great question because a lot of the great offensive linemen are probably going to be picked before us. So I definitely will have that answered in my mock draft. Commit Die asked, do you think we should trade for Quinnen Williams? I saw a rumor about it. No, absolutely not. I need to see a lot more from Quinnen Williams. I would not do that. JC Magic 2 asked, do you think we will make more moves in free agency? If so, who do you think we will pick up? If we do make more moves in free agency, they're going to be little ones. Like, if we pick up... It's like if we picked up Leroy Reynolds. Like, that wasn't really big news, you know? We just kind of picked up more depth players, I guess. So, yeah, if we do make more moves, it's not going to be anything big. So... Basically, I'm kind of saying I don't really think the Falcons are going to do much else in free agency. Falcons fan asks, who's the best player in the NFC South? Julio Jones, duh. David Maddox asks, what do you expect from Gurley this season? I expect a great year. He's not going to be at 2017 MVP form, but he could get 1,000 yards, which, I guess going to 1,000 yards is statistically going back to your MVP form. But, yeah, I think you know what I'm trying to say. Like, he probably won't ever be who he was in 2017 simply because of the arthritis injury, but I do still think Todd Gurley's going to have a great season, and he's going to be a good impact to the team. He wants to play with us because it's like, it's Georgia. It's where he used to play, and the Falcons are so happy to have him. I think he's going to have a great freaking year. I love him as a person. Like, his Twitter is hilarious, and I think you need a positive energy in the locker room. So I think Todd Gurley is going to make a great impact to the team, and I can't wait to see what he does. Mike Jens asked, I think the Falcons should draft pass rush in the first round, but in the second round the Falcons should draft a running back because if Todd Gurley isn't good, the rookie could replace him. With running backs, let's be honest. Literally any running back could replace any running back. With the Cowboys last year, Ezekiel Elliott could have been replaced. Like, Ezekiel Elliott wasn't really even the Cowboys. He probably was their best running back, but he wasn't their best running back by a lot. So, yeah, we can definitely replace literally any running back with any running back. So, I don't know if we should draft a running back in the second round because, oh my gosh, running back is so replaceable. They don't last that long. Anyone can play. In my opinion, I think it would be kind of a waste of a pick if you go for a replaceable position in the second round. Like corner and pass rush and O-line is not replaceable. Running back is. So, yeah, anyone can replace anyone. So I wouldn't really go running back in the second round. Archangel asks, besides yourself, who is your favorite YouTuber that talks about the Falcons? Oh, man, I don't really know. Everyone in the Unintentional Grounding Squad brings out quality and sometimes even better content than myself. I don't really want to downgrade myself, but Jazzy Jeff Real Talk, Matt Mike Sports, Lieutenant Dan from Unintentional Grounding, Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast, all of them do a phenomenal job. And if you have not subscribed to them, there's a reason I put them in the intro to my videos. Like, subscribe now to these channels and follow The Real Patman on Twitter for Falcons stats. If you are not subscribed to them, I don't really know what you're doing. Like, you need to subscribe to them. So, yeah, I don't really know. I don't really want to favor one over the other. Now, I can say my favorite Falcons YouTube channel outside of the Unintentional Grounding Squad. I love Pound for Pound with Toby D and J.R. Clark. I think they bring out quality content as well. So outside of the Unintentional Grounding Squad, I would say that's probably my favorite Falcons YouTube channel. And I don't really know many other Falcons channels outside of that. If there's any other good ones, let me know. But yeah, as far as the Unintentional Grounding Squad, I don't really want to favor one over the other. I think all of them do a great job of what they do. Again, Jazzy Jeff Real Talk, Matt Mike Sports, Lieutenant Dan from Unintentional Grounding, and Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. They literally are in the description below. You can find their channel and subscribe to them. Please do so. It is worth your time. Jax Sky? Sorry, man. I am having a little bit of trouble pronouncing your name there. Do you think the Falcons should grab CJ Henderson? If so, do you think he'll make a big impact to the team? Absolutely. I think CJ Henderson is a great player. I know I made a film breakdown on him. If you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and watch it. Yeah, I don't really see why not. And he would make a big impact to the team. Now, will he make a big impact right away? I mean, probably not. Like, I think it would take a little while for him to develop, but like maybe in the second half of the season and when he gets like things figured out, and yeah, I think he'll do good. Derek Britt asked, do you think the Falcons will beat the Broncos in London? Yeah, the Broncos I don't think are going to be good next year. So, yeah, I think we're going to beat them. Ghost Peppers ask, on Twitter, there's a rumor floating around by Pro Football 411. So far, these guys have been pretty accurate about the Falcons' moves. Their quotes: Falcons targeting cornerback Darqueze Dennard, Atlanta NFL free agency, and the Bengals. If the rumor is true, do you feel the Falcons will go after a cornerback with the 16th pick or trade up for one? Personally, I don't think so. And the Falcons will continue to focus their attention on building the pass rush instead, between 1 and the 3rd rounds in the draft. Another thing, if we sign Dennard or any other prominent vet, what does that say about our faith in Oliver and Sheffield going forward, after they played well for us as starters down the stretch last year? Do we target cornerback later in the draft now? Your thoughts? Even though I've been preaching that I personally think pass rush is the most important position we need to improve right now, I will admit I think it's looking pretty likely that the Falcons are trying to get a corner in the first round. Like you said, like it kind of shows the Falcons might not have faith in Sheffield and Oliver. I think the Falcons are probably going to try and go for corner in the first round. And for whatever reason, the Falcons never really go for pass rush all that much anyway. I don't know why. I don't know what the point of that is, Thomas Dimitroff. But anyway, if they do go for defensive linemen, it's always like smaller guys. But anyway, I'm starting to believe that the Falcons are going to go for a corner. Do I agree with it? Like, I do in a way, because we do need corner help, but, man, I think pass rush is the most important position to fix right now, but Thomas Dimitroff, for whatever reason, doesn't want to do it. Now, they are thinking about trading up literally all of their picks, so maybe they're trying to go for corner and pass rush in the first round. Man, I don't know, but I do think they're probably going to go for corner in the first round. Do we target one later in the draft? I mean, I guess you need corner help, like, you know, as much as you need corner help. I don't really know what I'm trying to say there, but yeah, you need corner help, and the Falcons are probably going to do that. Archangel asked, do you really believe we should draft another running back with so many needs on this team and only 6 draft picks this year? I mean, we already have Gurley, Hill, Allison, who we still haven't got to see fully yet. Ito, Barner, and Keith, the fullback. I guess I would draft at least one running back because, you know, what if Gurley doesn't do well? What if Ito Smith doesn't do well? I want to give Quadri Allison more of a chance, and then Barner and Keith are going to stay. So, yeah, I would draft at least one. but nowhere early in the draft. I would draft a running back. I mean, gosh, at least in the 5th round or below. So yeah, that's when I would draft a running back. What's your opinion on Tom Brady and the Bucs? Okay, so do I think the Bucs are at least like a 7 to 9 win team? Sure. Like, I don't think the Bucs are gonna be some Super Bowl team that Bucs fans hype up every year. But I also will admit that the Bucs are not going to be like a bottom-dwelling team. Like, they're going to win at least 7 to 9 games. Surely Tom Brady's going to do better than Jameis Winston, right? So, yeah, they can be a good team. I think they are an improved Bucs team, but playoff team, nah, not at all. At the very least, they're a 7th seed. But 7th seed playoff teams, in my opinion, don't even count because 7th seeds are always like 7 and 9 or 8 and 8. It's like, do you really want to count that as a playoff team? Derek Britt asked, "What do you think about the Panthers making fun of our new uniforms?" Oh my god! Like, what do the Panthers have to brag about? Seriously, like, they haven't, like, since 2015, they've only beaten us twice. Carolina Panthers, what are you trying to do here? Like, what are you talking about? You've only beaten us 2 times since 2015. By the way, you haven't even beaten us in Atlanta since 2014. Yeah, even when you're 14-0, the Falcons beat you. I'm literally looking at this poster of Julio Jones jumping over Luke Kuechly in my room. That was my first ever Falcons game, by the way, and Carolina Panthers, make fun of the Falcons, but, like, my first ever Falcons game, you made it pretty darn entertaining by losing to my Falcons. So, I don't really know what you have to brag about, Carolina. So, if you wanna brag, you better become more of a challenge, and that's not going to be this year because you're in flat-out rebuild mode. So, yeah, Carolina has some problems. Derek Britt asked, "Do you think Julio is better than Michael Thomas?" I think so because Julio got better career stats than him. I mean, yeah, Michael Thomas is like a crybaby, sore loser, and he's overrated. He's, a good player, but he's overrated. He's not that freaking good. Julio Jones is one of the best to ever do it. So Michael Thomas, I think, is pretty overrated. I was actually kind of like getting mad talking about him because I hate the Saints. Anyway, 29 Falcons, 22 Niners, I like the username, ask, "How is rain formed?" Rain is formed when Matt Ryan throws a lot of touchdowns on the opponents and, the offense just keeps scoring all these touchdowns and the defense doesn't really know what to do about it. Archangel asks, "If we're not able to draft Kinlaw or Derek Brown, who would you personally like to see our Falcons draft? What position?" Now, I want you to seriously put some thought into this position. Well, I love pass rush a lot. You guys know it. I've preached it enough. Pass rush is the most important position I want the Falcons to go for. So I still want the Falcons to find some pass rusher. Now, you know what? If there seriously is no good pass rusher to draft, then fine. Go for corner. So, yeah, I would either go for pass rush or corner. I really don't want to go for any other position than those two. I don't want to go for a linebacker in the first round. I don't want to go for O-line. It's gotta be pass rusher secondary. There's no other way to put it, Thomas Dimitrov. That's what I think the Falcons need to go for no matter what. Rise Up ATL asks, "I got some questions. Number 1, what is the most iconic moment in franchise history?" For me, it was Alford's 80-yard pick six. I feel like nobody talks about that Hail Mary we had long ago, 1983, I think, against the 49ers. Nobody really talks about that because it was like a long time ago, but that was an iconic play. Another iconic play is the one I'm looking at, Julio Jones jumping over Luke Kuechly to beat the Panthers, and they no longer go undefeated. So I would say the most iconic play in recent history, at least, is Julio Jones jumping over Luke Kuechly. And the pick six in the Super Bowl, by the way, Like, that is an iconic moment, but let's just be real here. The Falcons lost that game, so I don't really want to think of it as an iconic moment. But, yeah, if it's not Julio Jones jumping over Luke Kuechly, unfortunately, I would say it's the pick six. Number 2, have you ever considered, like, making a Discord for Falcons fans to chat and also do live streams talking about the Falcons? I have not, but, I probably should. Like, I definitely would think about doing live streams. Simply put, the reason I haven't really been doing live streams is because I'm not very good at it. So, like, but the more practice I do at it, the better I get. So, yeah, I definitely could go ahead and make a live stream. Maybe that's, like, in the future. Like, I'm not really thinking about it right now, but it's just kind of like an idea. Maybe, like, one day a week on Wednesday or just sometime during the week is when I live stream, and that's when I answer mailbag questions. I don't know, it's just a thought. Number 3, it's 4th and 1 in the Super Bowl. Who you taking, Patrick Mahomes and Michael Clown Thomas, or Matt Ryan and Julio Jones? You would think it's like an easy answer because, well, it's Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. I don't give two craps about Michael Clown Thomas, but Patrick Mahomes literally won the Super Bowl, so we kind of have to give a little bit of respect there. But I will go with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. They literally win games every time. And, yeah, I would go with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. And I just made my first mix, and y'all better go watch it, although it stinks as fuck. Well, let's check it out. Let's go to your channel and watch that mix. Rise Up ATL. Remember, go to his channel and watch his mix. At UltraShadow97 asks, people are praising the Bucks' new unis, but they want to criticize ours. Why is that? The Bucks' new unis are really not that new. They basically went back to their old ones. Ours look new. They look modern. And I agree, like, people are like, the Falcons' new uniforms don't look good, but the Bucks do. It's like, the Bucks literally changed nothing about their uniforms. Like, they look the exact same. They look the exact same. They look the exact same. Like, they don't look any different. But the Falcons do. I don't know what they have against the Atlanta Falcons, and they praise the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been an absolute joke since 2003. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what it's going to take for us to get respect. So, can't do much about the media because the media doesn't want to respect the Falcons. And at JackB1872 asks, I want Dan Quinn to succeed in Atlanta, but if we don't make the playoffs this year, does he get fired along with Dirk? I want him to succeed too, but I will agree that him and Dirk Cutter, they have to get fired after this year. I mean, you can't stay for like 5+ years and just not succeed. Like you can't do that. And as far as Dirk Cutter, look, we gave him another chance. And if he doesn't succeed, we can't just give him a third chance, you know? Like, yeah, I think they would get fired because we need to get things turned around. And if they don't do it, it just shows it's not working. But those are all of the questions. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section below. I will see you guys with a video at Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. All of a sudden, I like kind of am struggling to say words. But anyway, I will see you guys this Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. As always, rise up.